How beautiful is that right there? Wow, that's pretty awesome. Welcome into Overtime Arkansas. This is well, it's impromptu. I'll tell you that. That's what it is. It's impromptu. We decided we didn't have a ball game that we were going to go to this week, so going to get a little bit of a throwback here uh, with uh, with our old school Overtime Arkansas. So share this out with your friends. And join us here as we talk some ball, see what's going on. Heck, I might even try to connect with a coach or two here. May have to put you on bumper, but we're just gonna have a little fun tonight here. Miss the overtime Arkansas. It was a lot of fun to do a few years back because we'd go into a game and then we would do this afterward, and it just got to a point we were just staying too late, and we ended on our video on Facebook. By the way, I don't either. Is it on YouTube still? Okay. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, we're here. We're here and we're giving you scores from around the state. Glad to have you along here again if you don't know me by now. My name is Brad Caldwell. I'm the GM of Arkansas Sports Network. I want to thank Aaron Powers for being here today. Bill Harshaw, you see that ticker down there at the bottom of the screen, and that beautiful intro that we had. That was all him. So appreciate him for doing that, and we appreciate you for watching. Again, I want you to share this out. Just let everybody know here as we talk a little bit about what happened tonight in high school football. The only way to really talk about what happened is if you comment in our chat boxes and let us know what happened. We want you to tell us, interact with us, let us know here what's going on here in the state of Arkansas. Let's go ahead and go to our scoreboards, and let's start in 7A. And again, um, some of these might not match up, but we'll get it together here. But let's go to the scoreboard if we can. In 7A, you've got Bentonville with a big victory over Fayetteville tonight, 48-14. Cabot picked up a huge victory tonight, 42 to 35. We've got a couple blank scores there. We'll get those in just a second. Rogers, back-to-back weeks of 70 points scored. That's wild. 70 to 14 over Springdale. Rogers Heritage picks up their first victory of the season with a 41-40 victory over the Northside Grizzlies. And right now, you got to think that in that game, that was the battle to see who was going to win a game this year, and that happened to be the Rogers Heritage Warhawks. Conway picks up a victory, 52 to 7 over Little Rock Central. They are on a collision course with the Bryant Hornets right now, 42 to 6. Bryant wins over Little Rock Southwest. Let's go to 6A. In 6A, we have the Benton Panthers picked up a big 60 to 36 victory over El Dorado in El Dorado. That was a big time score. Jonesboro, one of the big wins of the night, 21-20 victory over Marion. Van Buren picks up another big victory there in the Battle of South Sebastian County and Northern Crawford County, and that was a 17-10 victory there on I believe that might be the Midland Bridge battle there between those two schools. Van Buren picks up the victory. Mountain Home continues to roll 33 nothing over Salem Springs. Sylvan Hills, I think, maybe the story of the state right now. They are taking or trying to take the lead in the 6A East, 55-12 over West Memphis. Actually, with the loss, Marion losing and Sylvan Hills winning, you would say with the tiebreak, at least as of right now, Sylvan Hills leads the 6A East. Sheridan with a 51-36 victory over Catholic, stay in the playoff race. And you've got Greenwood 42-10 over Lake Hamilton. Again, we want you to check in with us. Let us know what happened in your neck of the woods there. And you said we got more scores, is that right? All right, so we're going back to 7A. We've added a score. Wow, Little Rock Christian come back big in that game with a 37-36 victory over North Little Rock. North Little Rock led that game at least for just a while at 21 to nothing at one point. So a huge win for Little Rock Christian there. And by virtue of the Pulaski Academy loss, you got to think that right now Little Rock Christian sets in that spot for a possible third seed there in the 7A Central. Let's go to the 5A scoreboard if we can. In the 5A, you see top-ranked Robinson with a 49-24 victory over Beebe. I've got some of these scores, Aaron. I don't know if you want to add these as we go. Hot Springs Lakeside won 69-14 over Hope. Searcy with a 50-22 victory over Pine Bluff. Hot Springs High with a huge win at Magnolia, 57-55. Wow, what a victory there for the Hot Springs Trojans there. And then we've got Harding Academy over Paragould. Paragould started hot, 3-0. They have now kind of dropped off, 26-6 victory, Harding Academy. Farmington with a 45-13 victory over Valonia. And then you are typing these in as we go. Maumelle 49-31 over Jacksonville. Don't have the Whitehall Chapel score at one point. It was tied at 22. Camden Fairview pulled out the victory over DeQueen 48-14. It was Batesville 36, Wynn 35. Valley View wins 48-14. Greenbrier 56, Alma 27. Morrilton picked up a big victory up in northern Arkansas. Southern Branson even. Morrilton beats Harrison 38-34. Nettleton beats Greene County Tech 34-3. And Pea Ridge beats Clarksville 49-6. We got a Whitehall score. Watson Chapel beats Whitehall 32-28. Wow. That's big right there. Big win for Watson Chapel. And man, Whitehall's struggling right now. They're definitely struggling. All right, let's move on to 4A. And again, go ahead and let us know. We got Daniel Robert letting us know, 8-man tonight. Woodlawn beat Dermont 76-56. Woodlawn is now 6-0, 3-0 in conference. We've got Michael Duke in the comments saying that Rivercrest beat Walnut Ridge 50-34. So we'll get to those in a minute. We've got Dardanelle. Dardanelle was down 21-7 in this one. They ended up winning that ball game 35-21 to hold on to that number one spot. We don't have a score for Arkadelphia and Harmony Grove. Maybe somebody can give us that score there. In the 4A3, Southside really and Gosnell next week battling it out most likely for the conference championship. Wow, I don't know if you've seen the number that's watching the on Facebook right now. I just realized, holy cow. Anyway, Gosnell beats Highland tonight 38-6. Hamburg 45-7 over Crossett. Somebody let us know what Nikel Lewis did tonight at Hamburg. It was Nashville 56, Ashdown 14. Warren picks up the victory in the 4A8, 42-14. Clinton rolls 49-14. We're going to get to that here, Josh, just a minute. We working our way to 2A right now. Gosnell again 47-12. Next week sets up a big matchup with Southside. That was really a game on our list. We're going to be in Prescott next week for the Bismarck and Prescott game. And if you're watching for Bismarck right now, let us know a score from Bismarck. I don't think we have them right now. Stuttgart keeps rolling with a 52-28 victory over Monticello. It looks like Stuttgart and Hamburg are on a collision course at this point. We have an Arkadelphia score. Arkadelphia wins 45-14. Thank you, Jordan Williams, for that. Let us know some big-time performances. Again, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let us know right here on the Arkansas Sports Network. Anyway, we've got I lost my scoreboard there for a second. We don't have a Mills Riverview score. I think Mills was winning big in that one. We don't have Heber or Little Rock Hall at this point. Ozark wins 51-20 over Pottsville. Ozark stays in the race. They've got Dardanelle coming up very quickly. In fact, maybe even next week, Ozark and Dardanelle will play Clinton is in the mix for the conference championship still. If Ozark wins, if Ozark loses, you got to think that Clinton and Ozark will battle it out for the 2 seed. Adam Hecox, I appreciate you, man. I see all these scores here. We'll get to those in just a moment. Appreciate you joining us here. We've got Lone Oak over CAC, 50-14. Lone Oak is for real right now, y'all. If I'm not mistaken, they're 7-0. Let me look at that real quick while I get an opportunity to do so. We have in the 4A8, is that correct? Genoa 14-0 over Fountain Lake. Is that correct? Okay. Pocahontas with a big 42-8 victory over Truman. Gravette 56, Berryville 7. Forest City with the big victory, 54-8 over Bald Knob. We've got Gravette 56-7. Thank you, Josh Blocker, for that. We've got Mina Waldron. Mina with the 35-12 victory over Waldron. And the Elkins Elks, boy, they're rolling right now, 55-14 over Prairie Grove. We got people commenting big time right now. We got Van Buren beat Fort Smith. We got that one. We'll talk about some of these games here in a moment. Jonesboro over Marion. Thank you for that. Let's take a not a break, but let's come in and let's talk a little bit about what's going on here in the state. And I see that you added the Mills over Riverview score for 63-0. So okay, so Heber beats Little Rock Hall 56-0 as well. You can't hear Aaron, I don't think. Okay. Aaron is producing, so he's giving me some of these scores right now in my ear. So with that being said, let's look at some stuff here about what's going on here in the state of Arkansas. We started in 7A and we'll work our way down. We're going to get to 3A and 2A scores in just a moment, so definitely hang with us there as we're going to talk scenarios here. Let's talk about what has happened so far here in the state of Arkansas. Um, I've got, I've got. Let me get the 7A standings pulled up real quick. Go ahead if you want to put the 7A scores up real quick. We can do that. I got Alan Russell contacting me, and he's going to call in here in a moment. So we'll have him in just a moment here as we get him on here in just a second. So in the 7A, Bryant Conway really obviously they're battling it out for the top spot. Little Rock Christian with a big victory tonight and kind of separating themselves. Definitely 3 seed territory now for Little Rock Christian with that victory. Pulaski Academy falls to 2-2, and Cabot moves to 2-2, and Cabot now owns the tiebreak over Pulaski Academy. So right now, Pulaski Academy kind of sitting in that 5 spot right now. The 6 spot is still open right now as North Little Rock is in that spot at 1-3, and then you got Central and Southwest at 0-4. I think that 7 spot or 6 spot may come down to. Let me see here. Never mind. I think. Well, yeah, it would. North Little Rock, um, and Central. Good chance that that's going to happen here. Um, hold on just a second, Alan. Give me a second. Hold on here. All right, so let's talk 6A real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Before we do that, let's go to 7A West real quick. Bentonville picks up a big victory, and right now, them and Rogers, they're on collision course. And man, huge victories for both teams. 7-0, both. That's going to be a great matchup there in Northwest Arkansas. 2 state title contending teams right there in Bentonville and Rogers, I believe. Bentonville West just behind them. Springdale Falls, I think, just a rung behind them, and Harbor as well. Fayetteville, believe it or not, Fayetteville sitting at 1-4 right now in the conference. They have really played a tough schedule here. I think their schedule is going to lighten up here at the end of the season. Let me take a look at that. I feel like Fayetteville will probably start moving up the rungs a little bit here. Of course, they do still have Springdale, but Heritage. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, Springdale is a pretty good team. Rogers Heritage, they should pick up the victory there, and then Harbor. That's going to be a tougher one there as well. So not easy road, but a little bit lighter considering when you talk about Bentonville and Rogers, Bentonville West, and then they had Broken Arrow and they beat Cabot earlier in the year. Let's move on to 6A real quick. Let's talk about scenarios real quick there. Again, if you're watching and you want to see the smaller schools, promise you we're going to get to them in just a moment. Van Buren versus Greenwood next Friday, both undefeated in the conference. Wow, yeah, absolutely. Game of the week. Um, we'll get to these smaller conferences and schools just in a moment. Benton stays in the race with the 60-36 victory. Jonesboro with the victory of the night in 6A, really keeping pace now as they move to 3-1 in the conference with a 21-0 victory over Marion. That was a huge win for Jonesboro in the 6A East. I think Sheridan really solidified the playoff spot. Good chance anyway with a victory there at 51-36 over Catholic. Greenwood just continues to be Greenwood, and like you said, Van Buren and Greenwood matching up, undefeateds in conference. That's a great thing. Big time excitement there at Van Buren. Man, huge win there over Southside this week. And Van Buren's moving up the rungs. They're moving up the rungs right now in the 6A West. The 6A East is the wild East right now. When you're talking about a five-way tie coming into tonight, Sylvan Hills and Benton, they survived that. Jonesboro did as well. El Dorado and Marion moved down those rungs just a little bit, but still a lot of football to be played there in the 6A East. You got to think Catholic and West Memphis are probably sitting there, probably out of the playoffs at this point, but we'll see. Moving on to the 5A, we talked about scores in the 5A. 5A West, Morrilton picked up the huge victory there against Harrison, really keeping pace. Now, Morrilton and Farmington, I believe they match up next week. If somebody's watching, they can let us know right now. Yeah, let us know about that one. I think Morrilton and Farmington are matching up next week. So make sure that you let us know that. Um, that was a big win by Morrilton, and I think Harrison and Valonia now are going to battle it out for that 4 spot. Morrilton and Farmington battling out for the 2 spot, and right now Greenbrier sitting in the driver's seat in the 5A West. In the 5A South right now, you've got a collision course right now between Hot Springs and Lakeside. In the end of the season, that should be for the conference championship. Even if Lakeside were to drop a game, it would still be for a partial piece of the conference championship. Magnolia really needed to win this game tonight against Hot Springs to be able to stay in this race. And Camden Fairview now kind of takes that lead, and they're 3-1 in the conference. Just when you were about to bury Camden Fairview, they're back in it. Parkview is right there as well. Parkview needs a loss by Hot Springs, and they really need to be able to beat Lakeside if they want to keep those conference championship hopes alive. But I'm going to tell you right now, I would not want to see Parkview as a 3 seed in the 5A tournament. In the 5A East, Valley View, I think they've got a leg up, although Nettleton is still in it right now. Wynn dropping the game to Batesville tonight probably puts Batesville in that spot for the 4 spot, and Harding Academy setting in a good position right now in the 3 spot in the 5A East. And then in the 5A Central, you've got 3 teams that are now tied at 4-0 with Searcy, Robinson, Maumelle, and then Beebe and Pine Bluff are battling it out right now. Beebe's got a leg up at 2-2, and I think right there you're looking at the playoff picture in the 5A. Let's move to the 4A real quick. We're going to get to our 3A scores and our 2A scores here pretty quickly. Stuttgart, Hamburg, both looks like they could be on a collision course for a conference title. Warren still in the mix. And then right now you've got several tied, or coming into tonight they were tied. Monticello, they picked up a loss tonight. They're now at 1-3 in the conference. I think they're going to lighten up, but probably going to battle DeWitt for that 5 spot. Maybe Helena as well for that 4 or 5 spot in the 4A8. Definitely wouldn't want to see Monticello as a 1 seed or a 2 seed coming in. Malvern and Nashville and Arkadelphia at the top, but Malvern got beat tonight by Bauxite. Bauxite moved to 3-2 in the conference, I believe. Let me look at that real quick, just so I don't lie to you. They were. Let me see here. Sometimes Scorebook Live is not so reliable. Um, they were 1-2 in the conference. They did beat Malvern tonight to move to 2-2. They've got Genoa, Ashdown, and Harmony Grove coming up. So Bauxite really helped themselves tonight with a victory over Malvern. You got to think Nashville right now is in the driver's seat in the 4A7. Oh, Coach Brad Cheshire down there, he's one of my favorites. Big time win there and big time moves there for Nashville, bringing that Nashville program back up. Dardanelle comes back out of the 4A4, being down 21-7. They stay on top in the 4A4. Ozark keeps pace with Dardanelle with a victory over Pottsville. Clinton is sitting there now at 3-1 with a victory over Pottsville. Pottsville has a victory over Mena, and they've got Lamar coming up next week. A victory for Pottsville virtually would send them to the playoffs. So that's a huge game there for the Pottsville Apaches. Lamar's still in the race as well. They need to pick up a victory over Pottsville to kind of stay in that race. Lamar really gave Dardanelle all they wanted tonight. Southside, Gosnell, to right now battling it out in the 4A for the top spot. Blytheville and Pocahontas and Highland are all going to be battling it out for 3, 4, and 5. Right now, Blytheville may have the leg up, but they still got to play Pocahontas in that conference. Lone Oak sitting at 3-0, and I said they were 7-0. I just totally dropped the ball on that. They are 5-2 now with that victory, and they are 3-0 in the 4A2 with the 62-6 victory that they had last week and a 50-14 victory that they had. Did I get that right? 50-14, Lone Oak over CAC. Man, I was on a roll there. I was just rolling, just going. Yes, 50-14. I had it. Never question yourself there. I'm just kidding. Anyway, Lone Oak in battling for the top spot with Heber Springs in that 4A2, and Mills up there as well, still in the race in the 4A2. And then the 4A1 right now, the Elkins Elks and the Gravette Lions will battle it out next week. The winner of that one will likely win the 4A1. You've got Huntsville. They're down at the bottom there in the 5A or in the 5 spot. Did we get a Huntsville? Yeah, 14-3 was the final score there for Gentry and Huntsville. Um, Huntsville in the 5 spot, Gentry probably in the 4 spot, and then you've got Gravette, Prairie Grove battling it out with Elkins for the top spot. Elkins took a big time step up. So with that said, let's move on and let's bring in. I'm going to bring in Alan Russell here in just a moment. Just hang with me here. Oh, why do we not have? Why is that not on? Let me go to that. It should be. Oh, Alan, hold on just a second, man. Not be on. Trying to get this connected. I thought we were going through the board here. Here, Alan, I'm gonna have to hang up on you and then connect and call you back. Oh, nope, nope, maybe not. Did you come through there? Are you through there? Nope. Okay. Let me call you back. All right, we're doing this live on the fly here. We're going to talk 3A scores while we get a chance to do that. As soon as I could get, it does not want to connect to the. Why would it not want to connect to the board? It has never done that. Oh, there we go. Nope. It connects and then it says not connected. Odd. Okay. Anyway, let's go to the 3A scores. Everybody's waiting on those 3A scores right now. Let's go to. All right. So in the man, we've got all kinds of stuff going on right now. What about Heber Springs? Big win against Mills a few weeks back. Blew out Bald Knob, yes sir, and Hall tonight. We're all over that. Trying to get this going here. Let's see here. And I got Mansfield and Boonville. All right, so let's look at our 3A scores right now. Salem, 66, Yellville, 8. Lakeside, that is really, let's just talk about that right now. The score of the night, and I've wondered if it's a typo or not, so maybe somebody can tell us. But the Fordyce Redbugs dropped one tonight at Lakeside, Lake Village tonight, 21-6. Is that real? Is that real life? Okay. Mansfield, the Mansfield Tigers right now with a 56-0 victory over Cedarville. We don't have a Bismarck score right now. We're looking for that Bismarck score still. Give us that Bismarck score if you've got it right now. We're looking for that one right now. So Charleston, they bounce back with a 42-0 victory. And then we don't have a Perryville. Glen. We saw was winning that game big. Lakeside did win 21-6 tonight. Wow, that is wow. I mean, huge victory there. Unreal, unreal, unreal. Glen Rose 42, Perryville 6. Thank you for bringing that in here. I was actually at this game tonight. The Atkins Red Devils picked up the 38-7 victory over Melbourne. Mayflower picked up a 34-6 victory over over Quitman. You got Atkins and Mayflower on a collision course right now. You've still got Salem and Mayflower still having to play each other. I mean, that conference right there, you want to talk about one heck of a top three. That is one heck of a top three. Smackover picking up the victory over Horatio 62-8. Rivercrest over Walnut Ridge 50-34. Daniel Robert, 8-man scores. Bub, we don't even have any 8-man scores. If you want to give it to us, we'd love to have them. Mountain View 47, Episcopal 30. We've got Cutter Morningstar 56, and we've got Two Rivers 20. There is a Bismarck score. You got it? 42-0 tonight? Okay, good deal. All right, let's move on to the next slide there. No, that's got to be over by now. We've got a 42-6 final. Aaron Weatherford, he knows. I can tell you, that's trustworthy, for sure. Yep, 42-6 final there. We've got. All right, let's move on to the next slide here. You've got Paris, 41-12 over Jessieville. Newport wins 52-0. Falk wins 42-36. That was a much needed victory there for the Panthers. Prescott will be there next week. Prescott 55, Parker's Chapel 6. Prescott got one loss on the year, and that's to Salem. And now we've got the 3A7 Conference Championship. We're going to be there next week with that one. Boonville 54, West Fork 14. Aaron Weatherford said finals. Yes, that's right. I believed you, man. Hackett 27, Greenland 14, Risen 44, Drew Central 38, McGee 32, 31. You got Hoxie 47, Piggott 20. You got Dumas 36, Wheatley 26. You've got Osceola 42, Harrisburg 0. And then, 20. 42-20, Osceola. Osceola needed that victory bad. And then you've got, and I don't have that on my page. There we go. Magnet Cove, 53-42 over Danville. And let's move on to 2A. Let's go to 2A, and then we're going to go to our scenarios again in both these classifications. So just hang with us real quick. Again, appreciate you watching here. See if we got any comments on YouTube. We do not have any comments on YouTube. We really would like for you to kind of push over to YouTube. Not tonight, but we would love to bring you some stuff much like this in the future. And really, YouTube does this better than Facebook does when it comes to this. But anyway, all right, let's go to 2A real quick, and we'll go to our 3A, 2A scenarios here in just a second. All right, in the 2A, another huge victory tonight. The Bearded Bears picked up a huge win over the Hampton Bulldogs. That one come out of left field, kind of come out of nowhere. EPC handles Earl 40-22. I lost my screen again there, Aaron. There we go. Magazine 41-6 over Westside. Mark Tree 44-24 over McCrory. Cross County 42, Lee 6. Foreman with a big victory over Spring Hill. That's another huge victory down there in the 2A3. Spring Hill was playing very well coming into that ball game. That's a big victory for Foreman. Coach Ed Baker down there, my guy, he's doing a great job down there at Foreman. And then you got Gurdon with a 28-22 victory. And then the Des Arc Eagles roll tonight 68-24. Big time victory there for the Eagles. And is that all 2A? We got we got new slide or got new scores coming in as we go. Is that the only slide for 2A there? One more slide. He's working on it. Big one next week in Glen Rose with the Beavers and Cutter Morningstar Eagles sitting at 3-1 in conference behind the Beavers and Paris, who are both 4-0. Kamani Cones says Bearden 42, Hampton 24. That's the right score? Did we have the wrong score up there? All we had was 36-24. That's all we've seen so far. So if you've got that one right, let us know, Kamani. So Mount Ida picked up the big victory over Hector, 49-6. Okay, all right. We got okay. Let's go to the next slide, and I've lost it again. All right, and still waiting on it. There we go. All right, Conway Christian picks up a victory, 33-6 over Mountain Pine. And then you've got Junction City with a 43-14 victory. You got Murfreesboro at 54-34 over Lafayette County. And we've got Poen falling to Carlisle 49-22. England 45, Clarendon 14, Hazen 56, Baptist Prep 20, and the Mountainburg Dragons with a 47-14 victory over the Bigelow Panthers. That's a good win there for Mountainburg. So we've got, let's see what John David McGraw says. 4-0 Dumas versus 3-1 Fordyce. Yes, sir. That game got real big. Real big. Let me see what we got here. Aaron Weatherford said, "You the man, Brad. I appreciate you there." Let me see if I missed anything that I need to get back to in these comments. We got the flock from Cannon Fairview saying hello. Did Dardanelle come back? They sure did. Let's see here. 8-man, we got that one. Rivercrest 50, Walnut Ridge 34. Anything else that we need to get to? Patrick Green says 42-24, so I assume that's Bearden Bears. And then we've got Cross County 51, Lee 14. I mean, we're just giving what we see. So anyway, hey, appreciate you for letting us know, though. Anyway, let's talk about scenarios in each of these classes here. Let's start in the 3A 8 right now. Dumas Bobcats now in the lead in the 3A 8 as Fordyce did drop that ball game tonight in conference. I really am dumbfounded. I'd love to know what happened in that ball game. If somebody could give us a synopsis of what happened, we'd love to know what happened there. So that opens up the conference championship. I mean, really, you kind of almost penciled in Fordyce in a lot of ways. I've got Dumas. And, for Dumas, obviously, you get a chance to play for a possible conference championship. Not necessarily this week, but you put yourself in position. McGee's still in it right now at 3-1 after their victory tonight. And Drew Central, let me take a look at them real quick. They lost tonight. That's right. They lost to Rison tonight, so that probably knocks them out of conference championship contention with that loss. So Dumas and Fordyce playing it. McGee still involved in that. McGee has both of those left. They've got Dumas on the 31st, and they've got Fordyce on November the 6th or 7th. I'm not sure which one just off the top of my head. In the 3A7, again, we've got a de facto conference championship game for you. Smackover still in the mix there at 3-1 now in the conference. But Prescott and Bismarck right now sitting in a good spot with where they're at right now, undefeated in the conference. Again, you can catch that one next week on ASN. In the 3A4, the Paris Eagles and the Glen Rose Beavers are sitting at the top of the conference right now. Both of them sitting at 4-0. Cutter Morningstar hanging in there as well. Magnet Cove is there, and Danville and Jessieville, maybe even Perryville possibly, and heck, even Two Rivers to a certain extent could possibly jump up into that 5 spot. In the 3A3, Rivercrest took control of the conference tonight with that victory over Walnut Ridge. Rivercrest has now beaten Newport and Walnut Ridge, so they're in a good spot. Hoxie gets back up into the mix at 2-2 in the conference. Osceola, watch out for those guys. They've played all of the tougher teams early, or most of them anyway. So you got to think that Osceola is probably going to find a way to get back in that race before it's all said and done. In the 3A2, I think this is a fascinating league, the 3A2. Atkins, I'm telling you, the eye test today told me Atkins is for real. Mason Martin went out against Salem last week. He's done for the year. Cole Crawford is legit. Very strong arm. Very, very, very strong arm quarterback there at Atkins. I know they gave Salem all they wanted. Mayflower is also for real. Quitman drops one tonight, but Quitman's still in the mix. And Melbourne, Melbourne has not gotten the benefit of the doubt when it comes to scheduling. They have played Salem, Atkins, and Mayflower tonight. They played Atkins tonight. They played Mayflower last week. They played Salem a few weeks back. So they've already played Quitman as well. So they've played the top 4 teams in the conference. And I'm going to tell you, at 0-4 now in the conference, Melbourne is a decent team. They're not bad. So you would think that Melbourne, with Mountain View left, Yellow Summit, and Episcopal left, they've got a chance to move up into that playoff mix in the 3A2. In the 3A1, the Mansfield Tigers going to move to at least number 2 in the 3A. Our 3A number 1 was Salem. They didn't lose, so Mansfield will move to number 2. The Boonville Bearcats probably going to work their way back into the top 10 as well with a victory. They are now 4-0 in the conference, 5-2 overall. The Charleston Tigers, the Tigers are for real. I think that conference is still, questionable, but Mansfield has got the leg up right now in the conference, but Boonville is still in the way, and when Boonville's in the way, you got to be worried. You always got to be wary and worried when it comes to the Boonville Bearcats. And then let me see here. I'm not missing anything. Let's see here. Gosnell, Fordyce had a lot of several injuries. Lakeside had 4 starters out as well. Kids played hard, came out on top. Hey, congratulations to Lakeside. That was a huge victory there tonight. And then we've got, let me go in here. Let's go into 2A and the scenarios in 2A. Bearden takes control of the 2A4 with a victory over Hampton. Also allows Carlisle to get back in the mix with that victory. And so now you got Bearden, Hampton, Carlisle. Poen right now is sitting in that 4th spot, and Hazen. I think Hazen could work their way back into the mix. Let me see something here. No, they lost to Poen, probably out of the mix there. Poen is the team right now that probably sits in that 4th spot there in the 2A4. Junction City right now in control of that conference with a victory tonight. And, right now, Junction City, those games are not even close. So, they're going to be the conference champion in the 2A3. Gurdon sets in at 3-1. Spring Hill now sets in at 3-1. Murfreesboro sets in at 3-1. And then you got Foreman at 1-3. You got Dirks at, I believe they're 1-3. Mineral at 1-3. So there's a dividing line. I think your 4 playoff teams are set right now in the 2A3. In the 2A2, the East Poinsett County Warriors keep on rolling. They gave Earl their only loss in conference, so now Earl falls back to the pack. The Des Arc Eagles trying to keep pace, and Des Arc and Cross County about to meet up, so those two are going to battle it out. I think there's your dividing line there in that conference. I think that now it's just who is going to play who and what seed are they going to be. Des Arc and Cross County battling it out. Earl's still in it. Let me look at Earl's remaining schedule. Earl has they have McCrory, they have Izzard, and they have Cross County that final game. So that's going to have a lot riding on it. We're going to be at Des Arc on November the 6th with the Des Arc McCrory game. So that one's going to have something riding on it as well. And Des Arc's still trying to hang in there. They've got to find a way to pull off an upset. The Mount Ida Lions in the 2A1 took control as they beat Hector tonight, 49-6. I was getting updates from that. Hector had a lot of drop balls tonight. Uh, I'm not sure that it would have mattered that much because 49-6 is a good one. They got one tonight. It's a tough place to go to play. I think Hector has got good athletes, a good team. I just think that Mount Ida tonight was just a little bit tougher. And so now, Conway Christian still with an opportunity to move up. They got Hector on Halloween night, October the 31st. So that's a big game of consequence there for them. And let me get the Hector schedule real quick if I can. Oh, nope, can't do that. Let's see if can I do this? Yes, I can. Hector has Johnson County West Side. They have Conway Christian. They have Magazine. So very similar schedules to end up the season. So anyway, we're going to look at your comments real quick, and if you don't have any other comments, we're going to sign off here. But we appreciate you guys for joining us here. Really didn't expect so many to join us so quickly. Let me see. I'll tell you what. Hang on real quick, and let me see if I can get Alan on the line here. Let's see here. How would I do that? All right, I'm gonna have to take this off. So I have now lost my hotspot. I cannot get comments for at least now. And then I'm going to go into, let me see if that'll do the trick. If it won't, yep, that's what I thought. It will. All right. So let me bring in Alan Russell here, and we're going to talk a little ball. Well, I say we are. Man, I don't know what is going on. Can you hear me? Alan, I do not know why this will not run through the board. I have tried here and I can't get it to run through the board, so I don't know what's up. So anyway, can they hear him over the intercom right here? Tell me, give me some thoughts, Alan, while I've got you up on the mic.
I was looking the Earl guy, number 50, Earl went out. Last time Earl was at 14-12.
Yeah,
After that, after he went out, it seemed like EPC was able to find a running game in the middle of that Earl defense, and it was just all downhill from there. It ended up 40-22 for EPC.
do you know the extent of the injury for the player at Oral?
Right. Talked to him at the end of the game. I believe it's a shoulder, but he said he'll be back the next game. So what they think was the deal, they didn't want something minor to turn into something major.
I got you. I got you. Well, EPC remains number one, but I think what you're telling me now is if Earl is fully healthy, they are state title contender. Would you say that?
Oh, like I said, number 50, when he was in the game, he could do anything with the gun game. Or in the middle, good on the edges, or anybody. When I called the kid Bean nickname, when he went out, kind of just opened up the middle for EPC, and they were able just to use Buchanan and just run all over there in the second half.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, Man, I'm glad you got a chance to watch that game. I really didn't have any doubts that you would. We were at Melbourne and Atkins tonight, and I say we, me, my, me and my dad and my son were there, and I was very impressed by what I saw from the Atkins Red Devils tonight.
You saw him last week, Brad. Kelsey, defense, they've got over there. It's the real deal. and you're seeing it get better every week. It seems like. And I was sitting here watching it. Is that true about Fortis?
That is true about Fordyce. Yes, sir.
And What? What? That was. Is that the same Lake Village that lost to Carlisle?
It's the same Lake Village that lost to Carlisle. Yes, sir. Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
That's a head scratch.
It
That's a head
is, but that's why they play the games, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's true.
that's why they play the games.
And
Big,
then our game next week is in Prescott. What's some
yes.
other What's some other key matchups next week we've got?
Well, give me a second. I'll have to pull them up.
Okay.
How's he coming through? Is it good? Okay. This is definitely not the way I'd like to do this. Can you check this? Just come up here and do this. Well, you just, yeah, just do it. Um, well, I can't pull it up because I've got you. If I
I
don't have any internet.
I can tell you that 2A2, man, it's gonna get exciting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Desart scoring almost 70 points tonight says that they're not out of the
Ooh,
race just yet themselves.
70, my good man, they're scoring wheel right. See, that's our what they did to tweak their offense, but they've got some things going there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, Des Arc is they always get better as the year goes on. So they're definitely still in the mix. I'm excited about that matchup next week with Prescott and Bismarck. That's going to be something. Like I said, that's why it is. That is basically the conference championship game there in the 2A2. Or I'm sorry,
Yes, sir.
the 3A7.
I know you can't, but can't, it's human nature to think about it. Like when you look at Bismarck and Prescott next week, will you kind of like gauge the Salem win over Prescott to the Bismarck margin of victory over Prescott if that's indeed what happened?
Well, I'm going to tell you. Um, I mean, I think there's a little bit to that. I think we're connected now, aren't we? Is it coming through? Can you hear me, Alan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there we go. Got it connected now, so we don't have to do this. So, anyway, hey, can you do me a favor? And is there any way you might be able to put up like just show me comments, especially from Facebook that's coming through over here? Okay, Aaron's doing the dirty work right now, helping me out. Um,
Yes, sir.
anyway, um, I think that there is something possibly to that. I mean, people say you can't compare scores, and that is true to a certain extent, but not always. Not always. I think.
Well,
Go ahead.
what if what if Salem beat them pretty handily? That was earlier in the year as well. That's not deep in the season. But man, what if Prescott after losing that game to Salem beats Bismarck? I mean, what do you make of that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that was so early in the year, as you said, so it's really hard to say um, right now. But I will tell you, I'm watching again. And you're talking about watching scores. I'm watching scores right now, and you want to know who Bismarck is very, very similar to?
Who's
Mansfield,
that?
Mansfield,
Okay.
Mansfield, and Bismarck are. I mean, like last week, Mansfield scored what was it, 70, was it 70,
Mm.
72, whatever it was. Bismarck scored 67, and it's like they're beating the teams the the same way. I mean, of course, they played each other. Bismarck traveled to Mansfield and lost in overtime. So I'm just watching those two teams right now and saying they're really good. I like Charleston as well. I think Charleston is really good as well. We've got some comments coming in. Yes, we talked about Rogers in Springdale. Rogers is for real, man. 70 points in back-to-back weeks. That's a big deal for Rogers. But yeah, Bismarck and
Man,
Mansfield, I like those two. I'm telling you, Charleston, even
yeah,
though they lost to Mansfield last week, I'm telling you, Charleston's a very good football team. And then, like I said, Boonville I mean, they're still right in the mix when it comes to that. So anyway,
yeah,
I don't have any internet. What can you see how many are watching right now? Are we losing viewers? Because if we
yeah.
are, we can. holding 50 right now. Well, we had 125, or I think 141 was our high there, and then we had about 18 over on YouTube. Anyway, with that said, I can't pull up. I got you. I can't pull up the games for next week. Can you do that for me? Can Can you pull up games for next week and show them to me? Because I can't.
They're, they're,
I've been
they're getting bigger
hotspotting.
as we go here.
What's that?
They're getting bigger as we go here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Scorebook Live. If you'll pull up Scorebook Live and go to scores, or you have to go to Arkansas, go to scores, and then you select the date, and then you give me classes, and we can take a look at that.
Well, Jonesboro
Yeah.
get
Let's just start in 2A on next week's games. What you say, Jonesboro over Marion? Yes, sir. Shutting them out.
I'm saying, how about that one? That's kind
Shutting
of a
them
shock.
out was big. That was huge. Okay, so next week, Mount Ida and Bigelow playing each other. Junction City and Murfreesboro playing each other. Right now, if you'd have looked at that game a couple weeks back, you'd have thought, well, that probably is for the conference championship. I mean, I guess it could be too, but it's still,
Right.
Junction City has seemed to be dominant in that conference. Let's see here. Mark Tree, Izard County. Nothing. Roll on down a little bit
Uh,
if you can. Show me what we got. Keep on rolling, baby. Bearden and Carlisle. There you go. That one right there. You know, Carlisle now has an opportunity. That's at Carlisle. Carlisle has an opportunity to force a three-way tie now with Hampton in that conference, and Bearden if they are able to win. Let's see. Anything else there? Is your Aaron's? I got you. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Uh, okay. Let's see here.
don't you don't you got Salem Mayflower? Is that next week?
Well, we're in 2A right now.
Oh, I
So
got you.
I'm just looking at. I mean, he's literally rolling the scores. I can't put you on a hot. Can I put him on a hot spot now, or can I put myself on a hot spot? Let me see. Let me see if I can put myself on a hot spot so we can not have to do this. This is not the way we want to do things. Let me see if I could do that now with you on the phone and you paired up. Can I do it? Can I do
Yeah,
it? Can I do it? Oh, it doesn't look like it's going to let me. Let me try one more time here.
I got
Uh,
Mayflower. Or
okay, that's a huge game, obviously. There,
I
Mayflower.
would
Huh?
I would take that's gonna be a good one. I think.
Mayflower's a good football team, man. They're a really good football team. All right, looks like I can hook back up, so I can do this real quick here. All right, give me a second here. I know we're doing this live. I apologize for this. I not exactly the way we want to do things, but we're going to be able to do it now right. All right. So let me go sort by class. You don't have to do that now. I've got it. Mount Ida should win out the rest of the regular season. So Mount Ida, Hector, and maybe CC and what other team? Um, well, right now, if you're talking about playoffs, Mount Ida is going to be the one, and Hector is likely to be the two. Although Conway Christian's going to have something to say about that. That's what he was saying. Conway Christian, yes, that's what it's going to be. But looking at playoff matchups, the 3A or the 2A1 and the 2A2 are matched up with each other. And
Oh,
so that means that a two-seeded Hector would host either a three-seeded Des Arc or a three-seeded Cross County. EPC done well tonight. They did. They do well every night, man.
is Earl the four?
Salem plays Mountain View. So no,
Yeah.
Earl could be the two right now. Earl and
Okay.
Cross County are playing each other in the last game of the season, so that will have some implications.
So if Junction APC meet, it'd be in Little Rock.
I don't have the
I
bracket in
got
front of me to say for sure. So I'm looking through the games in the 3A right now. Atkins and Quitman. Say that again, Aaron. APC plays Lee next week. Atkins plays Quitman next week, and Episcopal plays Mayflower. So at least for Mayflower, they're probably going to win that game. Um,
Get Quitman. Could be a good one.
Atkins at Quitman. I tell you, man, I felt like Atkins is physical, man. They are physical. They'll hit you
Yes.
for sure.
And
Glen
that
Rose, go ahead.
they lost their running back last week, and then number 10 went out as well, Crawford.
Yes, so
And
Mason Martin is out, but Crawford came back and he played well tonight. Um,
good. He threw a deep ball. He threw
yeah,
good.
he's got a great arm. Cutter and Glen Rose, big game. Uh, becomes a bigger with the Lakeside. Mansfield and obviously another big game there in Boonville.
Hey,
Go ahead.
where's that one at?
That one's in Boonville.
Oh boy.
And then you got Dumas and Fordyce, and then even though Osceola not a great record right now, they play Rivercrest next week, so that's always a big one there in Mississippi County. Let's look at 4A real quick. We're going to wrap this up after we do this look ahead here. Highland playing Marshfield, Missouri. That's a replacement for the game with Cave City. 4A, trying to see what the bigger games are. Dardanelle Ozark, obviously a big game there. Harmony Grove, Nashville, also a big game there. Helena,
What
Monticello, those two are battling it out for a playoff position right there.
what do you make
Go
what
ahead.
do you make of Dark Travel in Lamar?
Josh Jones is a really good coach, and he dialed one up, tried to swing for the fences, and he just didn't. He just didn't have enough.
It's one of them ones when you're looking at it. I know when you put it in the group, I had to look in. I was like,
Yep.
I mean, there was a lot of this was upset Friday. There was a lot of upsets.
Well, it was close upsets for sure. Um, Nashville, Harmony Grove, Monticello, and Helena, Lone Oak and Heber, Lamar and Pottsville. Those are all massive games for playoff positioning. Um, let's see here. Gravitt and Prairie Grove also. Warren and Stuttgart. So Warren can really throw a wrench into things if they were able to
Oh,
beat Stuttgart.
that'd be a good one. That'd be,
Let's see here. All right, so that's basically for the 4A. That's the bigger games in 4A. Let's look at 5A real quick. So Magnolia and Parkview, Magnolia is probably out of the contention. Morrilton, Farmington, that's a huge game. Searcy, Robinson, that's a huge game. Nettleton, Harding Academy, that's a huge game. Let's see here. Camden, Fairview, Hope. Harrison, Valonia, that's for playoff positioning, and Valonia has to win to stay in it. And then it looks like that's pretty much it for the 5A. And then we know already that Van Buren and Greenwood play as two undefeated teams in the conference next week. Uh,
where is the Southerners and the Pirates gonna play?
I can't believe I didn't mention that one. They play at Southside. That was a game that we were looking for that one. Let's see here. So yes,
I may
that's huge game. That's a huge game
yeah,
there.
I may grab that one.
Let's see here. Sylvan Hills and Jonesboro next week. That's huge in the 6A. Like I said, Van Buren, Greenwood, and then in the 7A,
Man,
it is. There's a lot of big games next week. A bunch of them. Um, Pulaski Academy, Conway to a certain extent. Little Rock Christian, Rogers Heritage, Bentonville West, Bentonville Rogers next week. Yeah,
yeah,
that
good
one's
one.
for the 7A West right now. So Fayetteville, Springdale as well. That's also for playoff positioning. So anyway, I think we've went over it. We've touched base on all of it, and we appreciate you joining us. Didn't really expect this as a very impromptu thing. Thank you for being with us tonight. To be honest with you, this is really one of my favorite things to do. I love doing it.
Yeah,
This is where I cut my teeth at. So,
you
um,
look good. You look good up there,
oh,
though.
I don't know about looking good at anything, but I'm here. That being said, we're going to go ahead and end it tonight. Appreciate you joining us here. Who knows? Who knows when we'll bring it back? I love it though. It's enjoyable, and I'll tell you right now, if we could find a sponsor for it, I think I could find a way to do it. And so we
The
would go
shirt
ahead.
looks awesome. I'm saying the shirt looks
Well,
awesome
thank
behind you.
thank you, thank you, thank you. So anyway, well, guys, thank you for joining us once again. Alan, thank you for joining us. Aaron,
Yeah,
thank you.
man.
Bill, thank you for doing what you do, and everybody else that's a part of what we do. I think we covered it all. I'm now ready to catch my breath. 1 hour of high school football madness right here on the Arkansas Sports Network. And like I said,
Yes, sir.
thank you, Jeffrey Hall. Appreciate you. Um, I guess that's it. I feel like my dad's a preacher, and he would get to the end of his sermon and he would say, "What I got going on here? What is this? I got something in my mustache. Is it this one?" Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, he would say, "All minds clear," meaning, has everybody said what they need to say? In the comments, if you said what you need to say, it's time for us to go. So, anyway, it's almost midnight. Glad to have you along again one more time. And man, how much will it take to in sponsorship? Jeffrey Hall, if you will send us a message in the messenger, and we'll connect. Send us a message in the messenger. But anyway, thank you for joining us once again here on Overtime Arkansas. What'd you say, Aaron? It's on our page. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Anyway, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you sometime. All right. All right. Yeah, we will be back next week with Prescott and Bismarck. So thank you.
Good night.
Good night.